So, and you'll see like
Oh,
viewers up
hi.
there.
Happy New Year's Eve. How's
Happy New
everybody
Year.
doing? We have the White Russian again here today.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi. So, Happy New Year's Eve. We're going to get into some of our New Year's resolutions and some other chat with Nicole, post-op, and Stony, and some other fun things. But we thought we would have the White Russian on first because we wanted to kind of just start off talking about some of the trade stuff with China. And he's very knowledgeable. So, hi, Dimitri.
Hello.
How are you?
Great.
Thanks for coming back to see us again.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
I think everyone likes your accent too.
Yes,
So.
he works on it day and night.
As long as they can understand it. That's the most important.
Yeah. Well, you work on it day and night to keep that accent.
Yes, exactly.
From Wisconsin.
For 25 years.
Yeah.
26. So
Yeah.
works all right. So, Wisconsin accent.
Right,
Yes.
exactly. Right. Total cheesehead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I need one. Next time I'll wear one.
Your
Yeah.
hat.
So we were kind of talking a little
Yeah.
earlier about what your thoughts are with Asia,
Yeah.
specifically China, and our trade, and what's happening right now with Trump and the rice and the soybeans and kind of all these trade talks and stuff, and kind of what are your thoughts on some of that?
Well, I think we definitely get asked a lot just by nature what I do for a living, because logistics is the one that gets affected right away because of the trade war. So we've seen quite an interesting trend, but I think it's all kind of comes down to who has more to lose. In any war, you have two parties, and one of them will have more to lose than the other one. And in our view, and what we've seen, China probably have much more to lose than U.S. U.S. always have opportunity to go and outsource somewhere else. And that's why you probably have not seen China taking stronger stand. Consider that they own about 5% of our debt. And if you look at the amount of the trade deficit we have with them, which is much more favorable towards China. So you certainly would expect them to take much stronger stand, and they haven't. Mm-hmm. They've tried to take a strong stand with us with the soybean, which we're the
Hi, Debbie.
We're the largest exporter of soybean to China, and they tried to take a stand. The problem that U.S. soybean was about 60% of Chinese consumption. Chinese use soybean to feed the livestock. The problem that Chinese underestimated that there's really 6 countries in the world that produce soybean, and none of them has more capacity to produce more. When you take one out of equation, like U.S., which is the largest producer.
Right. Hi, Chuck.
You need to replace.
Hi, Julie. Hi, Shane.
We need to replace with somebody, and there's really no capacity to replace. Another thing what China have seen in the last 6 months is the outflow of the companies outsourcing outside of China, and it's been preparing for quite a long time, because China become expensive relative to the way it was before. The labor is expensive. Chinese government spend a lot of money on the moving people inside of the country, and give them incentive to not to go to the coastal areas the way it used to be. So labor become quite expensive. You've seen a huge outflow of the outsourcing to Vietnam, Bangladesh, India, Cambodia, Laos. And it started some time ago. It started certainly 8-9 months ago. And I think last week it was announcement the company that makes the AirPods, the headphones, is now will actually make them in Vietnam.
Okay.
It's no longer in China. The largest mobile phone factory in the world is actually in Vietnam. Samsung spent about $10 billion to build. So companies looking at the cost of labor and using this trade war as an excuse to move, especially cheaper commodity, shoes, garments, T-shirts. It's moving to the cheaper countries, so, which it
has been.
Well, it has been, but there has not been an excuse to move it, and people have been using trade war as an excuse to move it, which creates small issue for China. How do you employ over 1 billion people?
Yeah.
Because when factories moving, Chinese companies continue making money, but they no longer employ people. If they no longer employ people, government have to take care of social programs. Government simply doesn't have money. Chinese national debt
Hi, Patrick.
been growing on almost twofold per year in the last 4 years. Mm-hmm. Since recession, since 2008, Chinese went from the cash positive to the debt of about $5 trillion.
Now, you were saying earlier that our 21 trillion in debt that we have with China, 11 trillion
It's
of
not
it
with
was...
China, it's our total national debt. Our problem is not so much amount of debt, which is more than double versus
Barack Obama doubled it.
versus all
How much
all previous.
exactly?
So when he came to the office, I think it was about 9.5, 10 trillion, and when he left, it was 21. And that was obviously done by the perception of the
Hi, Anthony. Hi, Dana.
what do you call recession, and we need to get out of recession, which mostly went to banks or GM or other people who were too big to fail. The problem is that
Too big to fail.
it's a ratio of our debt versus GDP. So we today own 129% of our GDP, which means that we produce a year less that we actually own. And that's a real problem, which
Yes.
means
Yeah,
we,
that is a real
we
problem.
simply will never be able to pay out. Before Obama came to the office, there was a slight hope that we can pay out because our percentage was lower than the percentage of GDP. Well, China now kind of coming to the same issue because China invested lots of money into the Africa, into the Asia, trying to buy influence. They went, and because they manipulated their currency, they never really had a debt. They always had a surplus. And since 2008, they now went into the 5 trillion debt. They've been borrowing actually money at a faster pace than US, which is almost impossible to imagine. And China went from zero debt to now 50% of their GDP is actually
It's unbelievable.
debt. And it's
Since Trump's taken office.
and it's in the last 4 years went from 1 trillion to 5, which is a fivefold. And the problem is that they will have similar issue we have, for example, with our Social Security or Obamacare. You have to pay for social obligations. The bigger issue for Chinese, if they don't pay for that, then people are going to go on the street and protest. And there's nothing communists afraid more than people on the street protesting.
Yeah, of
they
course.
need to feed them. They need to have employment. So it's a multifaceted issue for them that companies are living. They have a Chinese government actually put, because if you look at the debt that they own, about 60% actually owned by Chinese government. The rest was owned by Chinese companies. And there's for years been talk that most of the major Chinese companies actually are owned by the government. It's just not, you know, like Huawei and others. This is just extension of Chinese government, which means they own our debt. So Chinese actually ask their
There's fake companies too.
well, they
There's these
not
front companies.
not only fakes what they've been doing. So there's a company, for example, you probably never heard of us, but they own Hilton, for example. It's a company, Hainan Airlines. What does airline own half of the Universal Studios? They invested in the last year over $30 billion, and it's a purely Chinese government money cleaning. Well, now Chinese government coming back and saying, hold on, we don't have money. You need to bring money back. You need to sell investments. It's not that easy. It's not that simple to go and sell investments. So in a nutshell, basically, China cannot just afford to go and get in trade war because they need money to support investments. They need money. They committed, I think, $2 trillion to rebuild a Silk Road, the tradition which they had. They want to have a road from China through all out Asia and up to the Europe, which was an old Silk Road in the 12th, 13th century. That's cost $2 trillion. They need to build a rail from China down to Singapore, up to Europe. They simply don't have cash.
Yeah. So the other thing that we were kind of talking about a little earlier was the fact that you said the way that it works in Asia is everything about saving face.
Well,
and that Americans don't understand
correct.
that that's just how it's done there.
Correct, and I think that's why you see this small, very, very gradual concessions from China, because at the end of the day, Prime Minister of China cannot just go and say, Trump won, we lost, let's move on.
Well, this is similar to what we're seeing with the wall.
Yeah, exactly.
Mexico was never writing a check for the wall.
Exactly,
Ever.
it was never.
Yeah.
I think their issue is that they never really dealt with anybody like Trump, because Trump looks at it from the business perspective, where politicians are all about saving face from the both sides.
Absolutely.
So-
That's why nothing ever gets done.
So exactly. So
Yeah.
they have a dilemma. They need to save face, and I think he's been quite smart, not just pushing it and running it through it, but giving them space
Yeah.
to save that face. Because I think if you allow the Chinese to save face, eventually they'll find compromise. Because to me, again, one of my customers gave me a really good example. He said, okay, so if Nike T-shirt today costs $4 to produce, and there is a new duties of extra 25%, do you think we're not going to pay $5? We don't care. I mean, 4 or 5 is not going to make massive difference. But if you don't produce those T-shirts in China, you have to employ 20,000 people somewhere else.
Yeah.
Where are you going to employ them?
Right.
That's a much bigger issue for China, and I think that's why you see those very small, very slow concessions towards the agreement, because there's a need to save face, but there's also a need to keep bringing money into the country to support the programs and support the debt.
So what would you have recommended what would you recommend, or what would you have suggested if somebody was asking you in the Trump administration to how to keep jobs here? Do you think he did the right thing with the corporate tax cuts? I didn't see any other way around it.
Well, I don't. First of all, I mean, we had
It sucks, but
out of development world, we had the highest corporate tax rate.
Right.
There's a reason why companies leaving. There's also a reason why.
Hi, Brenda.
Brendan. What industries
Sandy.
what industries you can keep here.
Yeah.
There was a very interesting case about 3 or 4 months ago. There was a big article in the New York Times about company in North Carolina that going out of business because of the Trump's tariffs on electronic parts. And I had a discussion actually on LinkedIn with one of my friends. We were talking. He said, "See that Trump's
yeah, right. His corporate tax cuts are ruining, killing jobs."
And I said, "But see, you don't see the whole story. That company was making flat screen TVs in North Carolina and tried to sell them in Walmart for $300. How do you can make TV in US and try to sell for $300 and compete with the labor in China or Vietnam or somewhere else? It's just not.
You have to be competitive
physically." And I told him, I said, "Do you remember we had this companies called Westinghouse and GE making TVs? They don't make TVs for reason anymore. Now some guy in North Carolina decided to do it and decided to blame Trump because of the duties. Again, how many parts in his TV actually from China? And if it's only up by 25%, is it really that critical? If you're making crappy product in a very expensive place to make it, that's what's going to happen." So I think he had no choice. I think that.
But the expense to employ people here and the expense to have a business here has left everybody leaving. And so this is where
but you also have unions, you have labor issues, it's just the cost of doing business.
Yeah.
It's very simple.
Right.
That's why you see actually lots of coming back to Mexico. Mexico is close. You don't need to run a complicated supply chain.
That's right. That's exactly how that wall's getting built.
And so people moving back here. Eventually you'll see, and you see already economy moving back. Like I said, US will need to learn that we just need to have different industries. We're probably not going to make TVs here. It just economically not feasible, or T-shirts, because you can make them cheaper. But we have a service industry, banking industry, we have a oil and gas, we have a technology, which is still one of the main reasons why Trump started trade war, which I don't believe it's a trade war, but you can call it, is because China's still China's still in technology, because that's what they've been doing for years.
Yeah, right.
That's what we've been best.
And nobody's wanted to call him out on it.
And we should be. Exactly. He's the first one. There's lots of examples China's stealing, but I know Nicole been with me in Shanghai. There's a train from Pudong Airport that was built by European company Siemens, the magnetic train, maglev train. They built it for free, because the idea was, if we build it for free, Chinese will give us contract to build train between Beijing, Shanghai, and Hong Kong. So they start building it. They build it halfway, and Chinese said, "No, thank you very much. We can build our own train."
Right.
That looks exactly the same way, exactly the same technology.
Yeah.
So the Siemens never said. So they stopped construction. So now train that goes 450 kilometers an hour just stops in the middle of nowhere, because.
Yeah.
But that's a perfect example when China said, "Okay, there's technology.
We have all the technology we need. Thank you.
We don't need you anymore."
Right.
So that's the biggest issue. That's what the trade war is about. And he's the first one who has a.
Well, because nobody deals anything with the business like he has. Nobody really understands his
saving pace. He's a business guy, exactly. But nobody also understands. Politicians don't understand really intellectual property value. He understands it. If you come up with a product, that's the only thing you have. You can produce it anywhere in the world, but it's idea that's yours. So if somebody consistently stealing and sponsored by the government, there's a city in China just outside of Shanghai called Yiwu. It's an artificial city, was built purely to produce fakes. All the fake purses, all the fake watches that you have in the world is produced in Yiwu.
Oh, wow.
And the traders from all around the world fly to Yiwu. Exactly.
Right.
That's where the 90% of fakes produced. Wow. And the Chinese government is acutely aware of this.
Yeah.
They sponsor the producing it. Of course, they will never admit it, but there's nothing transferring intellectual property and stealing it. Try to fly from China and bring golf clubs. U.S. Customs will actually check it, because there's so many fakes coming from China. So Callaway actually pays U.S. Customs to check golf clubs, to actually see the fakes not, because the amount of fakes coming in.
Oh, wow.
So, but there's also Callaway that spends tremendous amount of the market and the research and the marketing to produce.
Yeah, right. That's
their
their one product.
That's their only thing they own, is that intellectual property.
Right.
So
they're doing everything they can to protect it. Wow. Well, do you have anything else that you would like to add? You're so interesting. We just love having you on here,
It's
Mr.
all I
White
did.
Russian.
Yeah, it's all I did.
Yeah,
Just talk. No, I think I'll let you guys move on.
All right.
right.
Well,
Thanks
thank you for
having me.
coming.
I'll bring
Thank you.
I'll bring my wife. She's
Yes. She can get offline now watching us.
Get up online.
I cannot read the comments.
It's
from
Lawrence.
this. Okay.
We do have a serious guest, Lawrence. If you were here, we would have you on as our serious guest. Yes, because we love you. Yeah.
Do you
Thanks,
want
Debbie.
closer?
Hi, babes.
Do you want to move
I'm
a little
back.
closer? So you're in?
So we have Nicole. Post-surgery.
post-op.
Yeah, I blue dried her hair and we flattened it today. She looks beautiful for everybody.
I managed to get up and take a shower.
I
Yeah,
know.
it was a good day.
So why don't you tell everybody kind of about you and Stony and your whole little...
Well, Stony was the gift that was given to me from Rachel.
Yeah,
So I could cuddle with it during my surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank God when I first woke up, I didn't see this thing. So it was a good thing. It was a good thing.
And her cousin got him this little
Yeah,
hat.
and then
Which I think
Denise-
everybody has seen.
Denise got me
Stoney's
the little
little hat.
reindeer hat.
Isn't that
It's actually
cute?
meant for a
It is.
Yankee candle.
Really?
The little hat.
And it
Yeah.
fits
She got him a
Yeah.
candle. She
Yeah.
got her a candle,
Yeah.
and the
That's
hat was on her.
awesome.
Isn't that so cute?
Right.
Yeah.
No, everything went well, I think. I mean, I always said that my expectation is to wake up alive from surgery. So if that's
course.
if that's what I do, then that's a successful surgery.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I stopped taking painkillers, which I hate taking painkillers. So I stopped those yesterday, which
Yeah.
I feel way better not taking them.
Yeah.
Just mess up your whole body. You don't feel well when you're taking them. And but yeah, I'm doing pretty good, and
You look
it's
good.
a little.
Yeah, you look
Little-
beautiful.
too.
Yeah, I have one more surgery to go, and looks like a
So
a
from now
flat
until
pancake.
then, you've got to go in weekly to have the saline injections put in.
Yeah, so, well, for the last, I don't know if anyone wants to see this, but I
Everybody
asked
wants to see
Rachel,
it.
this was
Yeah.
my prosthetic
This
that
is
I
her
wore
boob.
the last 6 months.
So when I would
Yeah.
grab her, this is what I was feeling.
Right, yeah, so this was, I don't
Is
know,
that
I
a
think it's like
saline?
$400 or
Is that a
$500.
Yeah,
No,
it's,
it's like,
so expensive for that.
Oh, wow.
But you said your insurance
wow.
covered it.
yeah, my insurance, thank God, covered it. This is what happens when you have a
It
double
feels-
mastectomy, or
yeah,
you get an
feels
infection,
good.
or you don't have reconstruction right away. It does.
Feels so
If anybody
good.
wants to buy it, feel free, or you can, maybe you can
Borrow
have
it.
it. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm done with that for the next 6 months.
I don't drink, Lawrence. I don't
I'm
drink.
done with that, and yeah, so
Good.
it's a little deflated right now. And then yes, like Rachel said, I'll be getting saline injections
Weekly. Okay.
weekly to get them to the size that I want.
Okay. Hi,
And
Michael.
then once that stops, then
And
then
so
I
what's
will
the
go in.
projected, you're going to find out on this Friday, kind of the projected time frame for these weekly.
Right, I'm
injections?
assuming it's probably going to be maybe a month or two before I can start the saline.
Sure. Till
I'm
everything
thinking,
heals.
Yeah,
Really well.
and because the infection was on the left, they're different right now, so it's going to take a good
Yeah.
revisional surgery in the
How are you
springtime to
feeling
get them to
this
try to
surgery
match.
compared to others that you've had? Are
Well,
you-
the double mastectomy was the worst. It was freaking horrible.
Yeah.
And then getting that infection was, I don't know, I think it was maybe even worse than the double mastectomy. I'm not sure. It was really, really bad.
It was
getting that
rough.
It was rough.
It was rough.
I looked like I was like literally 90 years old. Couldn't even
Well,
walk.
your body was
Yeah.
just so,
Yeah.
had gone through so much.
I mean, I just remember walking in the hospital, people like holding me, tried just to circle around the hospital room.
It's just
Like,
she was out of breath.
painful and-
yeah, I
wow.
couldn't even.
Yeah,
I
Nicole's
looked-
never been really sick. She doesn't have any health issues. She's nonstop energy, 24/7, constantly going.
Yep.
And that was the only time in all the years that we've been friends that I ever saw
Right.
you down.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Mentally, physically, everything.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I couldn't even walk one lap around
Yeah,
the hospital
she was
floor.
And
winded.
that's because of
Yeah.
the infection.
Yeah, I mean,
But just
it
the toll
really-
that it took
Right.
on her body.
Yeah.
Yeah, the toll that it took on me, and then the infection,
Right.
and then yeah. So it's this just having the left side done feels much better than
Yeah.
obviously
So it feels different this time.
Yeah, that's
Now that
no, because remember my infection didn't come until
like a
3
week.
weeks.
Yeah, weeks
3
after.
weeks after my surgery was the infection. So I'm just praying to God that,
Of course.
a few weeks from now I'm not
In the
coming
same
down with an
situation.
infection with and I have cadaver tissue inside of me now, 2 pieces of cadaver
Wow.
tissue.
okay.
Yeah, so the cadaver tissue holds the bottom of the implant.
Hi, Chris.
And
Thank
the
you, you
temporary implant, and then the cadaver holds, and then I have a piece now that holds the top.
Okay.
But you had cadaver tissue. You
Yes.
still have cadaver
I
tissue
still
in
have
the one.
cadaver on the right. Yeah.
Right, so your body's not rejected the cadaver tissue.
The doctor always claimed that
I think
he doesn't
looking
think it was
back,
cadaver.
Now looking back, if it was cadaver tissue, you would have the right would still be an issue.
Right.
Yeah.
But because I was on so many drugs for like, a month straight, 2 times.
I think it made sense when he said that it was from the lumpectomy or the lymphodectomy, that he took the lymph nodes out, and you guys were under so much stress with trying to move and sell the house and do all this kind of stuff that the stress. I think
the stress played a part, and then it just was probably meant to fail. I guess. I mean, the infections went to the implant, and then I tried to keep it as long as I could, thinking it wasn't in the blood, because nothing was.
You were so sick when Andrea took you to the hospital.
Oh yeah, super sick, and then.
But the post one, you're looking great, and you are resting.
Yes.
And you are. There's very
Doctor's
little stress.
very
little stress at my house here.
All I do is sit and watch TV, and I'm not doing much. I'm listening to doctor, and I listened to him last time, but
But you're just the life situation was different.
Yes. Now my life is more calm. I'm in North Carolina. I'm not packing 2 places and thinking about all that stuff. But so next surgery, cross my fingers, is in the spring, and I can be done with this ordeal. And
hi, Mark. Hi, Tiffany.
Yeah.
So, we'll have you on again, of course, when you come back. We're going to miss having you here next to us.
Surgery,
Yeah, and then you're going to walk us through that whole process and let our viewers know kind of what you've gone through with that. And, I've told everybody, if you didn't have a chance to watch last week, if you know anybody that's gone through a double mastectomy or is going through breast cancer, Nicole is an expert in the reconstruction process.
Oh yeah, I'm an expert now.
Yeah, you are.
2 extra surgeries.
Yeah, you are. You're an absolute expert.
Yeah.
Not in the chemotherapy radiation element of things. She was fortunate that that it was cut in stage 1, stage 0.
Yeah.
So she didn't have to go through that, but you're definitely an expert in infections and surgeries and reconstruction and nipple sparing and all the different options.
Exactly.
And so a lot of women might have questions about
So
that.
if you're all watching, make sure, hopefully, say a prayer that no infection comes on this left side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for now, we just sit and we eat and we relax. And tonight,
we watch TV.
And we watch TV. And Nicole takes naps.
And I take
nice. It's good. She'll just fall asleep and watching this show or whatever. She's just
I know. I want to watch last night's show again.
Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit more about this next week. Maybe you can join us. I don't know, satellite or something.
Yeah, I probably can.
Oh, yeah, she could.
Yeah, so
I'm driving, maybe.
So what I found, everybody needs to try to watch the show. I think it's a great show. I found it last night. It's on Netflix, and it's Christine Omnipour, and she's a fantastic journalist, and she's doing a whole documentary series on Netflix. It's called Sex Around the World. We're going to get to our New Year's resolution,
yeah,
Lawrence.
Definitely.
Lawrence, what's your New Year's resolution? That's what I want to know. So Christine,
now everyone wants to know.
yeah, Christine Omnipour, she's doing a whole documentary on sex around the world. So she's going in all the different countries. I watched Delhi last night and Japan, and it's a whole cultural thing. She's doing an in-depth study on this documentary about sex in all of these different countries and how the different cultures, how it works. And so we're gonna talk more in depth about that next week, along with the erectile dysfunction that a guest had sent us an email, which I did say we were going to talk about today, but I forgot about all the post-surgery stuff and everything else we're going to talk about today.
And we have resolutions to get to.
And we've got resolutions. We've got other things that we're going to chat about. But if anybody has any thoughts or questions for Nicole, please message her. So, go through us to find her. And she's our permanent expert. Yes. So we just want to say that we love you. And I'm so glad that you're here and everything's good. And you've taken really good care of Stoney. So that's been good, except for the one time my dog got it. See the slobber? See this dog slobber?
Just slobber.
Yeah, I have 3 dogs, so the dogs got it one time. Yeah,
found
lots
it in his
of
mouth.
slobber.
So one of the shows we were watching last night was it's another show in the UK, and it's the expert on bodies. So it was talking about bad breath. So we're going to talk about bad breath. It did this whole halitosis thing and studies on people in the UK, and they walked around with these monitors.
I can't read it from here, so.
Oh,
Michael.
Thank you, Michael. We appreciate you too. We appreciate you watching. So we watched the halitosis monitor. Remember that?
Yep.
And so I forgot to bring down. Oh, it exists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of people have got shit breath. So it's
I'm
about shit breath.
Okay.
I'm a retired hygienist.
She is.
Oh,
She was a dental hygienist. So we were kind of talking about that a little bit last night. And
It brought back great memories.
how many
seeing those
many
teeth.
people want to admit to having shit like deep, there's a deep stenchy stink breath, which
I've woken up with,
everybody
Bad
wake
breath.
We all
people
have
wake
morning
up.
breath.
Everybody
We all have
has morning breath. Yeah, so
Yeah.
there's
but
that.
especially if you're not feeling well.
Of
and
course.
You wake up, and
Yeah,
you're like,
cotton
oh my
mouth.
No, but there's
gosh.
people who have it. I mean, we've dated people, you know, I mean, there's moments. I mean, this isn't onion breath. This isn't garlic breath. This isn't I just
This is
ate.
a gut breath.
This is a
Oh, yeah.
gut, liver, something happening.
Severe
breath.
periodontal disease breath.
Right?
Well, then there's that, but most people don't have severe periodontal disease.
A lot of people with bad
Some people
breath
do.
too.
The people that I have, I don't know.
And sometimes it's just like the food that they eat, obviously, just coming
It's
out.
rotting in their gut because they have low stomach acid. That's
Yeah,
really what
yeah,
I think.
yeah.
Yeah. So I've used a product for 20 years. I think I had shit breath probably as a teenager. And I had low stomach acid. My thyroid was low. You know, and I probably still have shit breath sometimes. I'm not saying never. I mean, you know, everybody's got shit breath sometimes. But I'm just saying like that deep stink. You know what I mean? Where somebody's always popping mints. Somebody's always popping gum in their
Yeah.
mouth because they can taste.
Which does nothing. All it does is masks.
It's better than nothing.
For about 5 minutes.
It's better
Yeah,
than nothing.
yeah.
A hint of mint with
Right.
shit.
Okay.
Is-
Right. So what's good for the gut for this shit breath?
Well, they didn't really totally say
Oh,
in the
well, what would
Sometimes
you use?
cleaning out your sinus is good for that too. Like
Well,
doing
I
the
use a
whole
product that
sinus.
I'm going to recommend to
Definitely
everybody.
flossing.
Yeah.
And it's called OxyFresh. I've used it for 22 years, and it's a fantastic product. You order it online, and actually you can order it through Costco. Costco actually sells kits of it now. You can order. It's a little bit expensive, but it lasts a really, really long time.
I used to love OxyFresh. Used to
Yeah.
use it all the time.
I've used it for 25, 28 years.
Now I buy one from Target. It's called Perio something, and it's amazing.
Well, I use stuff without fluoride in it. So
Yeah,
this
yeah.
Well,
OxyFresh.
you're not supposed to use fluoride. Fluoride's so bad for you, isn't
right.
it?
Well, I don't know. All right, my dentist and the hygienist would say
Right,
something
right,
different.
right.
But anyways, I haven't had a cavity since I've stopped using fluoride. Let me just put it to you that way.
Wow, crazy.
Yeah, but OxyFresh has fluoride products, and they have products that don't have fluoride in it. So if you can do either or, but I think Target sells something that now has a thing where there's sulfur, you know, that kind of kills that rotten egg or whatever. There's like maybe you know more about that product.
No, I don't know, but the one I use from Target is an awesome mouth rinse, and I love it.
What is it?
It has I know it's in the mouth rinse section, and one has an orange cap, and I think one has like a blue cap.
Is
It's
it
called, I think it's
before?
Perio RX
Is
or
it a
Perio
rinse
Breath.
before you brush kind of thing?
Oh,
or is it after?
after.
I don't know.
Right, mint with a hint of shit. That's exactly what it smells like. But it's
No.
better than just pure shit.
No, it's a good mouth rinse. I love it. And I hate any mouth rinse with alcohol in it. It's disgusting.
Yeah, no, Tiffany's just saying, oh my God, mint with a hint of shit.
Yeah, yeah,
She's just
yeah.
saying how funny it is. Anyway, so bad breath can really be a problem. It's a damper for
I've gone up to
getting...
people,
You
and
have?
I'm like,
You've
I
just
have
done
to
the
walk
eyes.
away. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh
whoa.
why are you in retail? No, really.
There's a lot of people
I'm
with
just like,
stinky
holy
breath.
smoke. I'm like,
And usually, like, you know, because I've got some chronic acute health issues. And so a lot of people, I feel like, with chronic health issues have more of a tendency to have that sick breath. Which,
Or if they just ate and then they.
but that's different.
I don't
The eating breath is not
garlic
the sick breath.
Is,
No, it's not
and
the
I
same.
look at if I walk up to somebody and they're like talking to me, and I'm like,
Oh my God, Matthew says schmint.
Schmidt. Yeah, Schmidt.
That's a good one,
If I
Matt.
walk up to somebody and then it's horrible, I'm just like, yeah, it's periodontal disease.
I don't know. I
They
think
haven't
it's
had
coming
their
from the
teeth
gut.
cleaned in 30
Right?
years.
It could be a combination.
Their teeth are about ready to fall out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember, of course, I haven't dated for a really long time, but there was one guy, I never did kiss him. I ended up telling him. I'm like, because he was like, how come you don't want to kiss? I'm like, seriously, you're the nicest person. But I just can't put my face, like, I just can't.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
no.
I can't. He was mortified, of course. But I thought for anybody he would date in the future, because, of course, it wasn't going
Well, he
anywhere with
probably
me, because I can't do the shit breath thing. So there's a lot of people out there that have shit breath. And if somebody has told you have shit breath, I'm sure you're aware. People I feel like who have really, really bad breath are aware. That's why they're always popping stuff in their mouth.
Right, some.
Yeah, so I'm telling you, go to get OxyFresh, order it, or try this mouth rinse that Nicole's talking about. Get a prebiotic and a probiotic for your gut. I mean, start working on it because it's torture.
Get
It
dental
is
cleanings.
torture.
Yeah, I don't know anybody with bad breath, so. But I've come up to people in stores.
Yes.
And I'm just like.
Right, but somebody's married to that person.
I don't have any personal friend. Yeah.
Right, somebody's
Or
married to that
they're
person.
not.
Somebody's having sex with that
Right.
person.
Or they're not.
or they're not married, but
or they're not.
right, but
I do have one friend who has like
Uh-oh.
always had like
a smell.
yeah, it was a smell, but I don't know what it was. It almost seemed like a metallic.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Maybe it's
metallic
maybe it's a
odor.
medication they're on.
I don't know. No. It's
And you
weird.
didn't say anything.
No, I never said anything.
It's not me, is it?
No.
Okay,
no,
good.
no,
All right.
no.
All right. I don't need a Schmint. Do I need a Schmint?
You don't need a Schmintz.
No.
All right.
No.
All
I
right.
always ask that.
Oh, and
I just
doTERRA.
did onions,
doTERRA
so I
has
smell it.
amazing.
Oh, doTERRA,
has
the essential
amazing
oils.
mint beadlets. I love them.
What are the beadlets for your mouth?
Yeah,
it's a mint.
you pop it in your mouth.
Oh,
Amazing.
Okay, but again, that's not solving the problem. That's
No, it's
masking
not solving
it.
the problem. But
The
also-
OxyFresh mouth rinse, you can actually just swallow a little bit of it.
yeah,
That'll help the bacteria
right.
in your
and
gut
same with
too.
the mint from the doTERRA. I just pop in my mouth, and they, it helps with upset stomachs too.
Okay.
Right? Mint is very popular.
Yes, it is. It does
Right,
help with the upset
right.
stomach. So we just wanted to touch on that a little bit after watching.
Yeah.
You're kind of in the dating scene.
Yeah.
How is that breath?
I haven't gone on
well,
many
whatever.
dates though yet. So
Well, for
that's
over the
starting
years.
next year.
No, but over the years you have.
Yeah. So far, so good.
Oh, so most guys are pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I think so,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, they have
I haven't met anybody.
I talked to people before I dated them for a little while, so
But God, that would suck for the really nice guy. That's just great, but he's got that breath.
Well,
So
you're
we're
probably
trying
doing
to
a
help you.
favor and telling them,
Yeah. Do you have any recommendations for poo poo breath?
poop breath. No, but definitely get your teeth cleaned.
Yeah,
I used to be a
cleaning.
dental assistant,
Yeah.
so it.
Oh yeah, you were a dental assistant.
Yeah.
Good to work together.
Yeah.
I worked for Dr. Coletti in Lombard.
Yeah,
And then I
okay.
worked for the endodontist in Oak Brook.
I think one of my first jobs was in Lombard.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you don't
I don't
remember
know.
the dentist?
It all sounds gross to me.
Okay.
But when I worked in downtown Chicago is when I really saw the shit teeth and the shit breath. So.
Tongue scraper.
Oh, yeah, that's
Lawrence,
huge.
that's huge.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
cannot find those many places.
I
Where do you get that at?
OxyFresh sells them. OxyFresh sells
Mine
them.
is
they
like
do?
my tongue scraper is like
I
Dr.
love that.
Tunga or something.
Yeah,
Okay.
Amazon. Prime
Yes,
it, people.
Amazon.
Prime
Love
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, that's totally true. Thank you for
It's
that,
awesome.
Lawrence.
Tongue scrapers.
Totally.
You should be our breath
guest.
our breath expert, Lawrence. You should come. You should fly out here from San Francisco. Come out with your tongue scraper, and we could do a whole thing.
Right?
And electric toothbrushes. Number
You know,
one thing.
I
You like
didn't
that?
love my
Oh,
Sonic.
I've been using one for over
my
20
Sonicare,
years.
I liked it, but I went back to
Yeah.
the regular
I
toothbrush.
can't even use it normal. And I'm like, what do I do? I have no idea how to brush my teeth with a manual toothbrush anymore.
There's probably a
you just
YouTube.
move your
There's
mouth
probably
around.
wait a minute. There's probably an ASMR video.
I probably.
Quietly walk
Right.
you through it. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
start on one
Have you been watching the
quadrant,
videos?
No, I
and then
haven't.
You
I
move to
haven't
the
had
next
time. I'm gonna start
quadrant.
reading books now again.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, but we're talking.
We're going to
that.
talk about New Year's
Yeah.
worst job in the world is to be the breath expert. That's what I was thinking last night. So
I love cleaning teeth. It didn't bother me.
Oh,
Except when
No, that stench.
I had people in Chicago. Yeah, when I came out to the suburbs, is a whole nother ball game.
in Chicago.
Oh yeah, Chicago.
They're wretched mouths
yeah.
out there.
The office I was working at, yeah, it was totally wretched. Yeah.
So a friend of mine works with somebody, and if I go into this place of employment, there's one guy, just a really attractive, good-looking guy, married, kids, and his breath
Got shit breath?
just radiates
That's
the
bad.
whole. It's like you've got to.
it's sad.
So you guys need to get it. You guys need to get the breath in check.
Breath, good shoes.
That should be on the New Year's resolution checklist.
I think a foot doctor is probably the worst job in the world.
Oh yeah.
Can you imagine being
That's
a foot
pretty bad.
doctor?
Oh God, the list is long with
There
doctors.
is.
Yeah.
There
We
is.
were on the show last night. There was hemorrhoid removal.
Yeah. I had that done. I'm admitting this on air.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
I did.
Yeah, I've never had one.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I was
I
pregnant.
had some internal ones.
I was
think.
pregnant.
just
We
during
had
my
it done.
pregnancy.
I was awake for the pregnancy, or for the, yeah.
It
It
was
was bad.
that
Yeah, we
bad.
haven't even talked about that. Yeah.
It seems
No
to be a
one
very
wants to hear
common
about
problem.
my old hemorrhoids.
Yeah.
But it was really bad.
Don't
yeah.
have them.
Yeah.
Never want
Yeah,
one.
had it removed.
I
It
had
was
some
awful.
internal, I think, with the end of my
Awful,
pregnancy.
Awful.
This UK show shows everything.
Oh yeah.
It showed the butthole.
There's no filter.
None. This guy came in with nerve damage or pain in his penis. They showed his penis and
Yeah, I was like,
all that.
Well, there
Yeah.
you go.
it's not America anymore.
No.
No, it's in
exactly.
the UK
Yeah,
and
they
Europe.
show
They let it
everything.
all hang
yeah,
out.
they do.
So I'm going to just talk about a couple other shows. This Bird Box. Okay, so
I've
Bird
been-
Box.
I did not like it.
Oh, so you end up watching it? Yeah. Okay, so my review is the
Watched it
same as
before
yours.
I hated the ending.
Hated the ending, and I felt like it was very,
yeah,
very
but
slow.
Now, so I don't want to give it up, but it
I
was
did not
slow.
watch it yet.
And people say it's so scary, and it was like I was waiting for it to be scary.
Yeah.
I don't like scary. I like to watch Disney, so I'm all
Like
good.
suspenseful, you know.
I
But-
thought the premise and the trailer of it was great.
Yeah.
And I guess it's kind of like The Haunting of Hill House with the whole mental illness thing.
Probably why I never finished that movie.
You never did finish Haunting. Well, the ending is the best part. I'm just letting you know. The ending is the best part of The Haunting of Hill House.
Okay.
But
Maybe I'll watch the ending of that one then.
Yeah.
Just because then maybe I'll like that, and then
yeah.
I don't need to watch the rest.
Yeah, well, and so the Bird Box, I felt like the trailer. We watched the trailer, and we were like, "Oh, my Sandra Bullock." I mean, I love the other guy that's in there. He's so great, and it looked really great. I felt like it had really good promise. You know, it really could have been good. I felt like, but then halfway through, it was like, "Oh God, it's just turned into a corner of like never ending." And then the ending was bad. So
I just wouldn't watch it. I wouldn't. It's not
Bird
worth
Box?
it. Yeah, it's not worth the time.
Yeah, it's too
I
bad.
don't know if I would.
Even though
I'll
it's a
tell you
read.
what's worth the time. The Leah Remini
Oh, her
Aftermath
obsession.
Scientology.
Is it good?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Oh my God.
What did
Totally
you find?
obsessed.
You are obsessed
I'm
because
totally
at the Christmas
obsessed with it.
party you talked about it for about
People are
20
like,
minutes.
"Are you done talking about it?" I'm like, "No," because it's just so fascinating. I can't
It's
believe
on
this
Netflix?
crap happens in the world.
Is it
Oh.
on demand? Is it
It's
on
on.
demand?
It should be on demand on A&E.
Okay.
I don't know.
So
I've
What-
been
you
able
watch
to
the
get-
whole series?
Oh yeah, we're
Okay.
on season 3 now.
Okay.
It's
I started
just
watching
fascinating.
bits of it.
What did you find it to be? What's the obsession? That somebody
I
would
just
get
cannot
sucked into
believe
that
that
people
this-
believe this.
Yeah.
That's what you can't believe is that people would believe this.
Yes, I can't believe that, and I can't believe how it ruins families, ruins lives. It's just, it is fascinating.
And
Like,
that is
that an
happening in the
organization
United
such
States.
as this that has millions and millions and billions of dollars. I mean, start watching
give
that
a
show.
lot
You
of
can
their
see their
money.
properties like they own. It's like, yeah, no wonder where all their billions of dollars.
Because they have to give their money
And people
to
just keep doing it.
Scientology.
They keep doing it.
people keep doing it.
$300,000 each
Why is
member at
Tom
least,
Cruise
and
so
then the actors
affordable?
are probably
No,
millions.
seriously.
Tom Cruise loves it. I think he keeps
Yeah.
talking it
I
up.
wonder
Well,
if
I'm
he's
pretty
getting
sure.
money
Does
from
she-
it. Is he high up?
Does
in
she
Yeah.
say anything
That's
in
why.
in the show about Tom Cruise?
Well, she says the last time she saw David Miscavige's wife was
I remember
before
that.
Tom Cruise's wedding.
Wedding.
She's like, "Why is your wife not here?" And that's
Which wedding?
and she hasn't been
the
seen.
second wedding.
The second, she hasn't been seen since. So, no, I guarantee you, Katie Holmes and Nicole Kidman can't say anything about Scientology.
Oh,
Otherwise,
I'm
it's
sure.
probably written in
Oh,
their
there's
contract
no
before
doubt.
they even get married or whatever.
Yeah.
She'll probably lose custody of her kids if she were to talk
So
bad
you're
about it.
you're recommending on demand Leah Remini
Aftermath.
Aftermath. is the name.
Scientology and the Aftermath.
Okay.
Amazing.
So if
series.
anybody's looking for something to watch where they want to do kind of a marathon
Right.
and kind of get into that, you're recommending that. We watched the Ellen DeGeneres on
Yeah.
Netflix.
Good.
What was that? What Relatable?
It's all relatable.
Yeah, Relatable. And I felt like I would watch it. I would recommend people to watch it, but it wasn't hysterical.
I liked it.
I enjoyed it, but it wasn't like, oh my God, you have to. You know what I mean?
Right.
You have to have
You
to
didn't
watch
hear
it.
me laugh because I couldn't laugh that hard because of the stitches. But
I wasn't really laughing hysterical. I mean, there was a couple. I mean, I enjoy Ellen. I enjoy her, and I think she's funny, and I think she's enjoyable. So it was good to watch it, but it's her new Netflix show that she has on.
Yeah.
So there's Relatable, and then I went to go see Aquaman yesterday. Nicole Kidman was great. I loved it. He's the beast with the most. I mean, every woman. I have a couple friends that say
They
he's
don't
too
like
beasty.
him, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Who's he married to in real life?
Um,
What's her name?
Lisa Bonet.
Yeah.
yeah,
Lisa
from the
Bonet.
Cosby Show.
Yeah.
She knows how to pick them.
Right, yeah, her first husband.
Kravitz.
Yeah.
So, but we
he's from Iowa.
Yeah, we
Go
love
Iowa.
Go Iowa. We love the movie. We really enjoyed it. It was very enjoyable. I would definitely recommend going to see Aquaman. Like we saw it in IMAX. We really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the Netflix and the TV recommendations. And now for the last thing is the New Year's resolutions.
You guys start.
Well, everybody. Is there anybody out there that doesn't have losing weight?
Yeah.
And
sure,
eating
every
healthier?
single
Right.
year.
Well,
Yeah.
everyone has
Let's
that.
go to the gym.
Right. So by next
The
week.
gym is busy for a month, and then you.
Why
That's
is
why
this so hard? Why is this the hardest
Start
one?
earlier. Like, I don't even know why you need the first to start, like, something new. However, I'm going to read more.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
that's good.
I'm starting with John Connolly series, #1 book, and I just got it over at Amazon. I got the used copy, so it's supposed to be suspenseful and really good. So I'm going to make myself.
So
I'm
you
doing
like-
this with a friend.
You like fiction?
So,
Okay.
I like true crime, too. I like
Okay.
suspense, thriller, not too scary, not too gory, but,
Yeah.
true crime stuff I love, too.
And what about you? Do you like to read?
I love reading, and I used to read all the time, but just stop.
I think
Alas.
Netflix took over for a lot of people. Like
Yeah.
a lot of shows.
I used to be in a couple book clubs, and I really enjoyed
really?
them. Yeah, and it makes you
read
accountable.
It with me if you want.
Well, and then I've got 10 books
Well.
sitting on my.
Oh,
I know.
yeah, I've got a lot too.
Yeah, I'm just
But
not.
I'm
just
doing
not
this with
good.
a friend, so we're being accountable for each other.
Yeah,
That's
I
good.
love that.
Yeah.
So I
mine-
was walking yesterday, and it's like each butt cheek. Like if I jog a little bit, like because as you get older, they get hangy, the butt cheeks.
They start, yeah.
Well, maybe
Gravity,
not yours,
gravity.
but I've always had a big
Yeah.
fluffy
right.
butt, and so as you get older, they just get hangy and
Right.
heavy.
You need a Brazilian butt lift.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I've
Right.
been watching too many episodes of Botched.
Right. So yesterday I went for a walk and then I did a little jogging, but it's like each butt cheek feels like it's like 20 pounds each. I said
So
that
are
to
you
my
doing
husband.
like squats? Are you doing like
No.
leg lifts and stuff like
No.
that? You can't just walk. You have to do other things.
Yeah, I probably won't. So it's just going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Walking's
I won't.
fine.
I said to my
But I don't
husband.
like my butt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my butt is okay. My butt's okay.
You have to do some squats. I
Yeah,
used to do that
squats.
drying my hair.
You used to do squats?
Yes.
How many would you do?
I don't know. I didn't count. I just
While you were
dried my
drying,
hair,
squatting?
squatting.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
wow.
That's multi.
Okay.
Yeah. That's throwing it out there.
Did it?
But anyways, I said to my husband last night, I think most of my body weight is in each butt cheek. There's got to be 20
Or your
pounds
breast.
each. My butt's heavier.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's what I think.
That's funny.
What about you guys?
Mine, I guess, is to lose the weight that this disgusting 5-year medication now that I'm going to be on now for 5 years.
Yeah,
has
the
made me
estrogen,
gain weight.
the estrogen suppressor.
Yeah. So get back, I guess, into a healthier state.
So the
Kinda
thing,
sad.
yeah, the thing that's really hard, I think, for most women as we age, and most women don't really realize that your hormones are 90% dictate what's happening with your metabolism. What's
I
happening?
went on
with
this
everything.
medication, boom, just
Yeah.
like that,
Yeah.
overnight.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, all the cupcakes that everybody was bringing me all the time, but,
Right.
It's not those.
And eating out,
I went
living.
to Singapore looking good, came back, and then it's like, boom. It's like,
Yeah,
oh.
look at Becky's butt. It's true. So I don't really know. I mean, I think every year, it's always the same. Try to be a better person. Have more experiences with your family. Mine hasn't really changed this. I
Yeah,
mean, I
mine
always
never
try to be
really-
a good
yeah.
friend. I always try to be a good listener. I probably need to work on listening a little bit more. So maybe talk less and listen a little more.
I think the whole world needs to focus on listening more.
yeah.
I think too,
Yeah.
and stop judging people
I will
for
tell-
their political views and actually get
But that's
to
why
know
we
each
started
other.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we were just frustrated with just the hate and the deletions and all that kind of stuff from on Facebook in general. Yeah.
Yeah, no, the whole world needs to listen. I will literally tell somebody the same story 5 times. I'm like, they don't get, I don't know, they don't
My
focus.
lips are moving. My lips
Yeah,
are
they
moving.
look
but I'm
at
not.
me, they're focusing on something else, and then I'm
You
like,
do that to me all the
I
time.
told you the story. Probably.
Yes. See, you need to listen. I'm going to say that to
Sure. Yeah.
you. Nicole, are you listening to me?
That's friendship.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is friendship.
Yeah.
It is.
It's a give and take.
It is.
And you still have to love each other for, the stupid things we all do.
Oh my God,
absolutely.
that was the other thing we were going to talk about with your surgery is the friendships and the relationships and the people. The same people need to show up every day.
Yep.
So we were talking about consistency.
In
Hi, Brad.
friends.
Yeah, consistency in your friendships and consistency. The marriage would be harder to be consistently the same person every day. That one might be a little bit hard. But at least in your friendships. So we were kind of all at lunch and talking about somebody that we have a mutual relationship with, and that we just kind of feel like the person's different around different people. They act different, or the moods are very different. Consistency, like in a friendship, it's like, I wonder who's showing up today.
Yeah. Which character is showing up
Which
today?
character is showing up today?
Personality.
Which personality?
Yeah, right.
Which personality is showing up today in the friendship? Is there something going on with that person? Nothing that we totally know for sure. I mean, that the life seems to be going well. The health as well.
So communication is key.
Communication is key, but this particular person isn't a great communicator.
Right.
So
that's the problem.
Yeah. So
So you have to kind of dig it out of them. A lot of people hold stuff in. I mean, you
know.
didn't even know I had hemorrhoid surgery.
I know. That's true. That's true. But
And
I
now
just
Facebook does. Yay.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, I know.
Right.
My
Right,
gosh,
it
the
was
other day I told
16
way
years
too much
ago.
information
That's
on
okay.
our last chat.
about your
Oh.
pee. How much pubic hair you had? That you were Chewbacca down there.
Thank
any
you.
of that, any of that.
TMI, man. TMI.
Yeah, we got to be
Bring it up
careful on
again.
Facebook
I
Live
know.
because people are watching and hearing that.
Exactly.
It's not just us three
We'll
girls.
slice it.
My cousin called me. He's like, "Did I really need to know?"
He
that-"
did.
I'm like,
But you know, you're helping people because people that want to free up that area and pee more freely now have the
they know.
opportunity.
"Yeah, they do.
Now they
Yeah,
do.
exactly.
I just need to
Yeah.
trim and shave or wax. Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, you're right. It was too much information. I probably shouldn't have shared that. The whole world.
Whatever,
doesn't
I think
it's
know
hysterical.
What my grooming.
That's right. They can
is.
fast forward it on the playback if they want.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I just think
Oh well,
that
it's all fun and games.
It
Who
is all
cares?
fun.
Are we gonna taste test?
I
these
actually
or
put
what?
on my
Yeah.
thing if it, if
Kelly's
you can't
ready to taste
handle.
Well,
You can't handle certain situations, maybe you shouldn't watch these videos. So if things easily
We talk
embarrass
about
you,
Offend you, we
everything.
talk about
yeah,
everything.
yeah.
That's why if you want to watch it on the playback,
Right.
then just do it then.
Yeah.
And that way you can mute us.
Yeah, so Kelly is ready to do our second taste
We
test.
are.
Yep.
Nicole is a foodie, and so she loves all this food, which, by the way, I
I'm
just
a
want to
meat
show
eater.
everybody right here. This is the pea cookie that I took a bite of last week, from last week, and I set it down on my table,
It's been
and I
there
want
for all
everybody to
day.
know I have 3 dogs, and not a single one of my dogs gave a shit about this cookie.
Only 2 of our dogs can reach it, but
Right.
it's still
Oh,
there.
Addie
Oh,
would have
wait,
found a way.
whoa.
No, wait a minute, Addie, there were chairs sitting. That was my bite.
I know, but is it discolored like a little?
No,
No,
it's
no.
the same.
Oh
Sure,
my
Brett.
So
God.
if Addie really wanted it, Addie jumps up on chairs and will
Yeah.
jump up on this table. If she really wanted it, she would have
did
had
not
it.
want that pea
She did not
cookie.
want. Nobody wanted this pea cookie. So I'm just telling you, here it is. Last
It's
week,
going to the Denise's tomorrow.
the rest of
I'm taking
them.
it to
The rest.
Denise's.
Are we gonna take the
Oh.
one that I bit?
No,
Oh,
we'll
we're
throw
gonna get
it
a fresh
away.
one.
Yeah.
You know what? I want to see you put that in front of your dog and just see what they do.
They'll eat it. But
Oh,
if they really, they've got good
that'll
noses.
be a good test.
All right, so tell
All
us
right,
what this
so what
is,
is
Nicole.
These are from Spain.
Mm.
It's a chocolate covered fig. And I hear they're to die for. And I think I bought like 24 and put them in my family's stockings.
It
Dark
smells good.
chocolate.
And my sister-in-law, Tina,
smells
hey
good.
Tina,
Yeah.
she's like, oh my God, where'd you get them? I'm like, I'll try to find the contact.
Oh, really? Because she loved it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was amazing.
So we're going to wrap up with this, but we would love for you, thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. If you would like and share the page.
eating hers.
Wait a minute.
Oh.
We are supposed to all do it together. We've already tasted it. You put them in stockings already. So Kelly and I have it. All right, here we go.
I'm gonna put it in your mouth.
It's amazing.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
It is good.
Oh,
It tastes like a Fig Newton to me.
Yeah, but it's still good.
Remember Fig
fig
Newtons?
covered in chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
But Fig Newtons were not covered in chocolate.
No, but this
I know.
is really good. And I don't like chocolate.
That's right. You kind of don't like chocolate.
This is really good.
This has chocolate on the inside too.
Yeah, it does. Something.
So I'm trying to find where I can find these. They're Villa Cruz.
This is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've got like a cream center.
It does.
I can't leave that there because the dog will eat
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
The fig is good. You can taste the fig.
Very good.
it. Well,
That's helping us lose our weight,
I know.
Yeah.
Which we're starting my 20-pound butt cheek.
Yeah.
This is going to be added. And
What's your
tonight's
goal?
dinner.
Lose
That's
2
okay.
pounds on each butt cheek? Or...
I don't know what my goal is.
Yeah.
I would say 10 pounds.
I don't have a scale.
I've
Just
gotta lose
however
at
you
least-
feel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta lose at least 15-ish.
I don't want to keep looking at a number every day. So
The scale.
it was
drives you crazy.
surprising when I went to the doctor and they're like, "Oh, you've gained some weight." And I'm like, "Wow, I did." You
No.
know, but I've been injured and on meds too, and
No, that
So-
helps.
my thyroid is off. Actually, I have to go
Oh.
get it.
Oh, it is?
I have to go get it ultrasound. They said.
Oh, you got nodules.
And I think they weigh you in kilograms now. I'm like, that doesn't make me feel any better. Really, it
right?
doesn't.
No.
So I do. I have to do that. So,
Okay.
but
Keep
we'll
us
see.
posted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I hope everybody has a great day.
Happy New Year.
Happy
Happy
New
New
Year.
Year.
Have a super fun time with whatever you're going to do tonight. We're making food and sitting around the house, and I'm going to watch Nicole nap on and off probably. But that's great. This is, I'm low key.
Yeah.
We're
I'm
just low
low-key,
key.
too.
So I'm happy to.
Dimitri's making dinner.
Yeah.
And Tom.
Yeah.
And then
you
Tom
go.
will clean it.
Yeah.
That sounds
We're
like
all
a perfect
set.
night.
Yeah, I got to make cornbread. Other than that. Well, keep us posted, guys. We'll see you later for the watch party.
Happy,
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Bye.
Bye, guys. See you next week.